From a bodywork chirophysio point of view, the hamstrings play an important part. And again, hamstrings will get tight, inflamed, uncomfortable. Now we're in a great position with the cryo to work directly on that point. And working down, all the way up and down. All the way down to the hop. Good. So the major benefit of this is we're not contravening any rules, we're not invading the body, and we're not using drugs. And it's a quick and efficient and clever way of dealing with inflammation, tension, discomfort, hematoma, anything that's going to impede the horse's performance. It's straight on it straight away. We've used the KaasenEquine for a lot of repair of injuries, such as tendon injuries, abscesses, any kind of damage in their body. Now, so that's dealing with the problem as it occurs, but what we're trying to deal with and show you now is how we can prevent problems and how we can have a protocol to manage horses so that they're not going to descend into needing treatment for a problem. Now, one of the biggest problems we find for a lot of horses, especially sport horses in all disciplines, is the longissimus dorsi that runs along the spine and into the gluteal muscles behind. Can cause a lot of fatigue, a lot of bruising, a lot of hematoma, and just low-level micro-tear damage. Now, good boy. What we find now is, once they've been through strenuous work and exercise, once we've got cryo shots, is then I'll just work my way down the muscle. Working my way all the way back. Up to the front again, work my way back again. And this helps to deal with the fatigue in the muscle. When the fascia gets tight, that starts to influence the muscle to be tight. So if we can relax the fascia through using the cryo, then what we do is we tighten it further to then create the relaxation. So the fascia around the muscle relaxes, Then we can get better blood flow, more oxygen into the muscle, and then we get the normality comes back. So we're constantly combating what the competing and fatigue and training creates. And it's so simple. The other one that we do a lot with is the sacroiliac in the SI joint, where horses can get a little bit tight and a little bit uncomfortable under palpitation. Again, straight in. And by working that area, we find 3 times a day really takes away the inflammation. And we find it's better to go against the coach so that the cryo can get under the hair and it can trap it and hold it. And I use my hand just to keep the cold where I want it. There we go. So by keeping in this position, instead of the gas escaping down his back, I can just quietly keep it where I need it. So wherever hip, stifle, shoulder, elbow, point of shoulder, we can work our way right the way through all the areas that can come under a lot of pressure as a competition horse and take away the fatigue, take away lactic acid, inflammation, and causing that vascular constriction to move inflammation is really important so that it doesn't become stagnant. Oxygen comes in and replaces that, and we get the virtuous circle going, and the wear repair patterns are kept up to speed so that we're not pushing the horse into failure, and we can keep them ticking along just fine. Spike's a really good customer. He's done a lot of this treatment, so he understands the sound. So I don't recommend standing behind a horse and switching it on because you might get kicked. He's completely aware of this process and very comfortable with it. But if you're unsure of a horse and you don't know, then again, I'd start off with my hand in a position of roughly where I want to treat, start myself, and then just start to fan in, so they get a feel for it. They feel that on their coat, and they start to realise the feel of it isn't as bad as the sound of it. And that's all we want to get them to be aware of. Once they're confident and comfortable, then I can home in like on the stifle. Get my hand in there. There we go. Good. So at the moment we are just doing 30-second bursts, and I find that if I want to get an area done 3 times in one session, I'll do 30-second bursts. If I'm only going to see this horse only 3 times, then I'll take it up to a minute at a time. So from 30 seconds to 60 seconds. I'll do that over 3 days, and then we can stretch out the treatments after that point.